entering fantasy drafts in the NBA season, here's a few centers I think could break out this season. The first guy's Jacoby Pirtle of the San Antonio Spurs. So Pirtle last season, 8.6 points a game, 8 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 1.8 blocks a game, 61% from the field. So right here, the San Antonio Spurs team, they don't really have that many great players anymore. DeMar DeRozan left in the offseason. DeJounte Murray should be their best player, in my opinion. Patty Mills left. LaMarcus Aldridge last season got bought out. So right here, Jacob Portal, he's going to have a lot of playing time. He's going 6th or 7th round in fantasy drafts. And I think this season he could be a double-double center. And he also could be a guy that gets 2 blocks a game with a good field goal percentage. So right here, Jacob Portal with not much competition over there in San Antonio. I think he could be a breakout center. The next center is Bobby Portis of the Milwaukee Bucks. So Bobby Portis last season, as the season went on for the championship Bucks, he finished off strong. Last year, 11.4 points a game, 7.1 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 1.1 threes a game, 52% from the field side. No, Brook Lopez is ahead of Portis over there in Milwaukee, but Portis, he could get the job done. He could score the basketball. He could hit three-pointers, and he's going to play 20, 25 minutes a game. And I think he could bump up his scoring off the bench even more to 13 to 15 points a game with 8 or 9 rebounds per game, because Brook Lopez, he's up there in age. I think Portis will get more playing time, and he's definitely a center I think that could break out. And right now in fantasy drafts for Bobby Portis, he's going at the back end of the drafts as a bench player, which is perfectly fine in my opinion, in the 11th to the 13th round range. The next center I think is going to break out is Javert of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Allen here, he was a guy I said to go out there and target in your fantasy drafts. And now he's a guy, in my opinion, it's going to be sky the limit for him with no competition over there in Cleveland. Him getting the big contract and not looking over his shoulder for anyone. Last season, 12.8 points a game, 10 boards, 1.4 blocks, 1.7 assists a game, and 61% from the field. So I think Allen easily could go for 15 and 11 this season with 2 blocks a game. Like I mentioned, Cleveland, he's going to play 30, 35 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes a game here is the young Buck Allen. He got the big contract. Cleveland, they made a couple decent moves this offseason here to try to improve this team and compete more. And Jared Allen's the start of that, in my opinion, to go with a Colin Sexton, go with Darius Garland, to go with obviously Lauri Markkanen, who they traded for as well. But right here, this is Allen is one of the better players on this team, and I think he has a huge season this year. The next center is Isaiah Stewart of the Detroit Pistons. So Stewart here last season, we saw flashes of this athletic big man. 7.9 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, 1.3 blocks, 55% from the field. So Mason Plumlee, he got traded in the offseason. And I think Isaiah Stewart, he's going to be starting at the center position for this team. And this is a guy who's a strong, tough kid down low in the block over here for the Detroit Pistons. I think he could get a lot of putback dunks. I think he's going to rebound the ball well. And I think he's going to block shots. Right now, he's going 5th or 6th round in fantasy drafts. That might be a little bit too early, but with his potential and upside as a breakout candidate, I think I would take a chance at him in the 5th or 6th round as Stewart. So right here, with his toughness, with his hustle ability, I think he's definitely a center that could break out this season. And the 5th and final center I think could break out this season's Robert Williams of the Boston Celtics. So right here, I know they got Tristan Thompson, and right here, Robert Williams, if he's healthy, he's going to play a lot of minutes. Reports are coming out of Boston in training camp. Last season, 8 points a game, 7 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.8 blocks, and a whopping 72% from the field. So right here, this guy checks the box in a lot of categories for the center position with the shot blocking, a crazy field goal percentage, which I don't think it'll be 72% this season, but it definitely could be 60, 65 this year. And right here, I know Tristan Thompson and Enes Kanter are on this roster, but Robert Williams has the most upside. He's the best all-around center, in my opinion, over there in Boston. And he's a player that definitely is going to break out, in my opinion. Even in limited minutes last year, he had a good year. And right now, he's going 5th or 6th round in fantasy drafts as well. So that's a few centers that I think are going to break out entering fantasy drafts and the NBA season.